What's up guys, this is the 13 Necromancer and welcome to the first deck profile of this year. It is the Superheavy Samurai deck profile I've been promising you guys for almost a month and a half now. And yeah, this is the February deck profile that utilizes the January 1st ban list. And without further ado, let's get into the deck. This is of course post Secrets of Eternity. It has been quite a long time now since the freaking booster pack has been out, so there's a lot of good cards in here that made this deck awesome. This is of course mostly a spell trapless build with the skill traps in here that can banish themselves. But this is the one I've been testing. It's been working out pretty well, and yeah, these are the cards that I use. So to start off, I use 2 Superheavy Samurai, Big Benkei. 2 is enough because this is a level 8 monster that you must almost most of the time normal summon. Of course, special summoning with Big Rat is easy, but if you don't have him in your deck anymore when you get Giant Rat, it is not that good of a card. But you can still special summon him by the effects of Flutist. Yeah, Flutist. And it is a 3500 defense monster. Even after you play it against under skill drain, it is still a 3500 monster. Although it can attack from defense, it is still a 3500 defense monster, which is insane, and it is one of the first cards they made. It is still one of the best cards in the deck, and Big Benkei has to be a part of this deck. So, moving on, we got 3 copies of Superheavy Samurai Blue Brawler. This is one of the first cards that were ever made for Superheavy Samurais. Still one of the best, for its effect cannot be destroyed by battle. It can be quite annoying, and 2000 defense is still pretty good, and it can open up a lot of rank 4 plays that you can make with Tin Goldfish, and it's overall just a good card. And when it's normal summon, you can change its battle position, and the same goes for Big Benkei. That's how the first one were designed, and the other ones were just completely different actually. That's the second card. Then we got 3 copies of Superheavy Samurai Soulfire suit. Now, this one might be harder to understand, so I got an English copy right here. And the effect states that it makes the Superheavy Samurai become level 5, so that is not bad at all. And then you can discard him and target the defense position Superheavy Samurai. It loses 800 defense, but cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, which is in my opinion pretty good. And it's still one of the best equipped monsters I guess they created. The ones from New Challengers were just kinda awful when you try to utilize them. Like, they just weren't that good in my opinion, and for the deck they're not as consistent as this one. The one that was of course from New Challengers, but it was created in Duelist Alliance as a super rare. Then one of the best ones here, 3 copies of Scales. This Superheavy Samurai is basically Junk Synchron, I guess you can call it, but the first effect is already good. So if your opponent controls 2 or more monsters and you control no monster, you can special summon him from your hand. And if this card is normal or special summoned, not from hand or anything, just normal or special summoned, you can target a level 4 or lower Superheavy Samurai monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position. That is everything this guy can do. It is really a good card. You can special summon him when your opponent controls 2 or more monster, and when you do, you can get out another Superheavy Samurai from your graveyard. Very, very good of a card, but not first turn card. Not the best first turn card. Except if you like go Redox and discard one of the monsters. Then you can do something with it. But Redox actually special summons from the graveyard, so forget about that. Scales is a good card, not first turn, but good card indeed. Then we got 3 copies of Superheavy Samurai Trumpeter. I know I said that. So if you have no spell trap cards in your graveyard, you can special this guy from your hands. This effect is amazing. So you can special summon him anytime you want from your hand when you have no spell or trap cards in your graveyard. And that's why I made the build that utilizes just this effect, so having no spell trap cards in the graveyard. You can use a card, I think it's named Pot of Benevolence or whatever, that card that shuffles 2 cards from your graveyard into the deck. Then when you use it, it banishes itself, so you don't have a spell card in your graveyard. It is okay, but it is inconsistent as, wow, just inconsistent overly. And one thing you should know, this guy should be special summoned last, because after you special summon him, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except Superheavy Samurai monsters. And if this guy is tributed for the tribute summon of a Superheavy Samurai monster and sent to the graveyard, and you have of course no spell trap cards, you can special summon this card. So you can use him to special summon Big Benkei, then he will special summon himself back from the graveyard, and then you can go into your boss monster Warlord Susanowo. And that is Trumpeter in a nutshell. Moving on, got 3 copies of Superheavy Samurai Flutist. Of course, another very good card that was made in Secrets of Eternity. An okay set, I guess, and that was kind of annoying with the camera there. So you can tribute this card and special summon a Superheavy Samurai monster from your hand. So you can get out Big Benkei just by tributing this guy. And another good effect he has is when a card effect is activated that targets a Superheavy Samurai monster you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. You can even, I don't know, screw over Big Eye. That's one of the things I did in the locals I've tested this deck at. So, it is a pretty good card. Not just negating the effect, but also destroying that card. So, pretty good. That is Flutist. Then, we got another card from the new set, Secrets of Eternity, Soulpiercer. From the first look, it is just the card that makes your Superheavy Samurais inflict piercing damage when they attack a defense position monster. Which is good, but the other effect is where it's all at. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Superheavy Samurai monster from your deck to your hand, except himself. You can add anything when he is sent to the graveyard. You can add, I don't know, Scales. And then when you don't normal summon, or you can even special summon, you just special summon and get this guy out yet again. And you can equip it to any card, because not only from your hand, also your side of the field. You can equip him to a Superheavy Samurai monster. So that's pretty much all for the Superheavy Samurais, and now some support from other monsters. Starting with triple Goldfish. Yeah, one is Starfall, stop. And when he is normal summoned, you can special summon a level 4 monster from your hand. This card can be really good. Now, the difference between him and Goblinberg is that he can still attack even after you use the effect, but most of the times you're going to go into Gear Gigant Axe and add to your hand any card from your deck you desire. So 10 Goldfish opens up rank 4 plays, which are good for the deck. Then got 2 copies of this filthy common Giant Rat. Another great card. You can suicide him into any monster your opponent controls and then bring out Big Benkei and attack with his defense position 3500 points. Incredible, yes, incredible. But that's just Giant Rat. It is really good to bring out Big Benkei, but it can bring out, I believe, yes, it can bring out Scales, which, as you know, when it is special summoned, can bring out another super heavy samurai from your graveyard. So Giant Rat opens up a lot of plays, especially when you suicide and not just defend like you did back in the day. Now you can suicide and bring out cool monsters. Alright, then I've got 2 copies of Gorz, the Emissary of Darkness. Gorz is still a great card. You can special summon him when there's a direct attack, I guess, and get another token out. And then you get effect damage. You can inflict damage back to your opponent. Another good effect, and it's just 2700 attack. Usually when I played, my opponents did not expect to see Gorz, so it was pretty good. And quite an okay surprise. And Gorz should definitely be played in a deck that mostly utilizes monsters, so that's Gorz. Then I've got 2 copies of Effect Veiler. I have been thinking of putting this up to 3 because it has saved me so much, especially in the first duel I have won against Evil Swarms when I completely wrecked him by screwing up his effects, then next turn making Warlord Susanowo and just destroy him. Effect Veiler is still good for game, and it's a level 1 tuner that can help you make a lot of synchros if you need them. And also for synchros I use 1 Genex ally Birdman. This card will probably be taken out of the deck because I've got something more planned for the deck. Some card I do not have a lot of copies of in this deck right now, but can change in the future. So that's that. So this is the card I'm talking about. I only got 1 Maxx C for now. This card definitely needs to be at 2 or 3 in this deck, mostly at 3, because drawing 4 days is very good, and having a lot of cards that you can use is brilliant in this deck. So this will probably be bumped up to 3 when I get my hands on more Maxx Cs. Then I got 2 copies of Machina Fortress. I decided to bump this up to 2 from the original 1 copy I played because it actually saved me a lot of times, and just by discarding some monsters to get this guy out is very, very good and effective. And remember, you can discard himself. He can discard himself as well. It's just one of the boss monsters of the deck. Same goes for 1 copy of Redox. Redox is of course a beast in this deck, being able to discard one of the super heavy samurais as well as special summon them from your graveyard. And the last one I am testing out at the moment is Cephalon, the ultimate Timelord. You are going to have in late game 10 or more monsters in your graveyard, so you can special summon a 4k beater. It is just incredible, and under skill drain he still works because he has originally 4000 attack, which is useful, which is pretty useful. And then these are the monsters. Now we get to see the traps I was talking about. Got 2 copies of Skilled Prisoners to get the effects off, and of course 3 copies of Breakthrough Skills to negate your opponent's effects. And if they are in the graveyard, you can banish them and use the effect again. Although Breakthrough skill can only be used on your turn, but Skilled Prisoner can be used in either player's turn. except the turn it was sent to the graveyard. But that still works out very well. So let's move on to the extra deck now. And I'm going to start out with the Xyz monsters. Let's go with the Xyz monsters first. So we got 2 copies of Gear Gigant X to get your combos off, to get the machine type monsters that you need into your hands from your deck or graveyard, I believe. Yeah. And then just, I guess, generic rank 4s that you can use in the deck. I really like Dark Rebellion, Sea Dragon. Diamond Direwolf is just here for simple destruction, because you are gonna need to destroy some cards that you cannot get over with. And of course Cristal, as in the best rank 4. Right now in the meta, I would put in some more cards, but there's just not enough room. So for the synchros, let's start at the bottom. We got 1 copy of Ermatis, Keeper of Boundaries. This is just a level 5 that is really good, that can be used in the deck, and sometimes you can summon it. If not, you at least have an option in your extra deck. Then got 1 Vulcan the Divine, Naturia Barkion, that can banish 2 cards from your graveyard, so it's good if you are planning on using more spell and traps in the deck. I was planning, but it's super inconsistent. If I'm ever gonna do that, I just wanna put in 3 MSTs so bad, because it is the best card of the format, and I am really mad I can't use it, because when it's stuck in your graveyard, none of the combos can go off with the best card in deck, Trumpeter. And then the last one, of course, is the best level 6 monster, level 6 Synchro, Goyo Guardian. Was thinking about playing 2, but I guess 1 is okay. So that's that. Then we got Black Rose as a level 7 you can make, and Karakuri Shogun, or should I say just Bure. And when he's synchro summon, okay, once per turn, you can target 1 monster on the field, change its battle position. That's not a bad effect, and it's a 2600 attacker when you need to synchro summon using the cards you got, because they don't have much attack, the Superheavy Samurais. Then I, for some reason, don't play a level 8 synchro yet. I haven't gotten one out really, but you can kind of easily make it when you use Soulfire suit to make your monsters level 5. Then Genex ally Birdman can possibly open up a lot of plays, like Beals and Void Ogre Dragon. So these are the cards I'll try to fit in the deck. But this is the card I would replace, of course. Mistworm, still a really good card in any deck, in any synchro deck. And then the level 10s, of course, Leo, the Keeper of the Sacred Tree. And the last 2 copies of Superheavy Samurai Warlord Susanowo. So you make this guy by using a machine type tuner and 1 or more non-tuner Superheavy Samurai monsters. So it was made for the deck, of course. And not only can he attack with his 3800 defense points, but he can also, when you have no spell trap cards in your graveyards, you can target 1 spell trap card in your opponent's graveyard and send it to your side of the field, but banish it when it leaves the field. A very good and scary effect that you may use. I've actually been able to steal a breakthrough skill during my turn when I was playing that Evil Swarm player, and it worked out pretty well. So yeah, I'm gonna place this guy, or should I just place the MVP of the deck, which is this. So these are the cards that you should probably use, and that's it for today's deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed this super long deck profile. I'll put a list below if you did not watch the entire video, but thanks to everybody who watched the video and wanted to hear my opinion. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later with another video and possibly more deck profiles this month. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.